Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Good, Sunny. How are you?
Good, thanks. I like your background.
Yeah,
Looks
the
like,
Chateau Frontenac in Quebec City.
have you ever stayed there?
I have not stayed in the hotel, but I have been to Quebec City. We went there on
Yeah.
our my grade 8 trip, so that was quite a long time ago. But
Yeah. I think we did the same thing, but like in high school, grade 10 or 11. And we stayed at the chateau. And it was for a skiing trip. So it was fun.
oh, that's
Limited supervision, but lots of fun.
interesting. I can imagine.
Yeah. So we've got October 19th, the referendum for Alberta is coming up, where they're going to be voting whether to, I guess, go through with an official separation.
Yeah,
I,
it's a referendum to have a referendum. So
yeah,
I would imagine that Daniel Smith has managed to anger everybody.
yeah, yeah. So I guess the majority of the Albertans are of the mindset of to remain in Canada. Like the current polls are what right now? Do you know? Do you have them?
Yep, I do. As of Sunday, in Alberta, 63% support staying in Canada, 30% favor independence, and 7% are undecided.
Yeah. So those polls are kind of like, I think they're representing a historical referendum that we all know very well from 1980, when we saw Quebec going through a similar situation. And that stirred up a lot of emotions in the Canadians. I mean, in my own household, I remember my parents talking about it, and it was quite emotional. People were indifferent, upset. All of the emotions came up.
Hmm.
Did you
Yeah.
hear any? Did you guys have
Oh,
any of that?
yeah. Well, 1980, that was before my time, but I certainly remember
Yeah.
1995. And, uh, and I don't think this time is any different. We have quite a few clients in Alberta, and remember, two of them were here last spring,
Hmm.
closer to the summer, and I remember them mentioning that there's a lot of chatter from their circle of friends out west about the province's future in the country. So I'm not all that surprised to see that this
Yeah.
is going to be an election poll. But what we wanted to talk, we wanted to discuss this topic because the obvious question is how will the market react to it?
Mm,
So we wanted to go back and look at these two prior referendums in Quebec to see exactly what kind of reaction we had. So why don't
right.
I go through both of them? So
Sure.
um, we found the data for both, and I didn't really know what starting point to use because that would determine everything. So what we landed on was to look at how the market did between the day that the actual question that would show up on the ballot was made public until the date of the actual referendum. So in 1980, the question was announced on December the 20th, 1979. At the time they announced it, the polls suggested that 70% of Quebec
Mhm.
wanted to stay in Canada. And then 5 months later, there was the actual referendum on May the 20th. And over that 5 months, the TSX appreciated almost 6%. So that is counterintuitive, isn't it?
Hmm. Yeah.
So in that case, it wouldn't have made any sense to raise cash or sell your Canadian stocks because the market went up. 1995, though, was a different situation. That question was announced on September the 7th, and the referendum was about a month and a half later on October 30th. And during that time, the Toronto Stock Exchange fell 4%. Now, when the question was announced on September the 7th, the polls were less favorable compared to the 1980 referendum. In 1995, when the question was announced, 50% 50% supported leaving Canada, so half. Oh, pardon me, I have that backwards. 50% wanted to remain in Canada,
Hmm.
40% wanted to leave, and 10% were undecided. So if you compare those numbers to 1980, 50% wanted to stay in 95, whereas 70% wanted to stay in 1980.
Right.
So
So
let's look at this situation right now. We're right in the middle. It's
yeah,
63% want to stay.
yeah. So it's right now it's kind of it's similar to 1980, which the market factors in predictability, right? So it
Yeah,
kind of helps out stabilize things, and then less volatility. So whereas 1995 was uncertain and it was too close, right? Sorry, too close, and then that caused a little bit of unpredictability, and of course the markets become a little more
yeah,
volatile.
absolutely. So we're taking the approach that this is closer to 1980 than it is to
Hmm.
1995, and for that reason, you should
So
stay
far.
invested.
Hmm.
Yeah, this could change. They're giving a lot of time for the I guess for the separatist folks to organize. I mean, this is not until October 19th.
Yeah,
Not even June yet.
right.
So this could change.
Hmm.
Certainly, if they had some kind of a very dynamic leader, that was the case in '95. So let's just hope that doesn't happen. But
Yeah,
at the moment, we're going to treat this closer to, we're going to use the precedent as 1980 until we see something different. So
yeah,
we're going to stay invested. We're not going to
yeah.
make
Bottom line.
big
Right.
trades over this. And but well, this will probably heat up in the fall. But remember,
Hmm.
it's a referendum to have a referendum. So
Right.
there's not anything decisive.
Yeah.
So all right, so we
Hmm.
shall keep our eyes
Yeah.
on the polling.
Sounds good. All
Okay.
right.
All right.
See
Thanks,
you
honey.
soon.